and we will begin. Welcome back, everyone, to QFit Mobility. My name is Nick. I am the program manager for the Palo Alto Fitness Center. So today we're going to be focusing on shoulder mobility to start us off. After that, we'll be moving into adductors and then our quads as well. And that's what I mentioned before. We will be on the floor half kneeling position. So if you have a pillow, cushion, or something like that, I would recommend grabbing that. We're going to be using that in about 5 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and get started with some shoulder movements here. So I'm going to stand up nice and tall, keep my arms to my side. I'm just going to go with basic flexion and extension. It looks like this. So just keep my arms to my side. I'm just going to be moving my arms up and down. No music today, but if you have something you'd like to play on your end, feel free. I'm trying to improve my playlist right now that we are allowed to play. Um, I have this like slow mix that I was playing last time, but I don't know. It didn't fit my my style. So I'm trying to work on a playlist for you all. So right now we are just doing flexion and extension of our shoulders. So arms are straight. I'm keeping my body still, by the way. So think about keeping that hip neutral, not letting that low back arch too much. And relax. Great work, everyone. We're going to do some body weight shoulder dislocate. So usually I would do this with a band or a PVC pipe. If you have like a dowel rod or a mop rod, you can use that. Basically, it's a big circular motion that we do like this. We can do it with just our hands. So my hands are going to be facing up like this to my side. I'm going to do a big circle behind my body. I'll pause. I'll bring it back around and I will repeat. So right now, think about a big circular motion. Take it slow. We're pausing at the end of our motion and then bringing it back around. Just trying to make some big circles here. Same cue on this one here. We want that hip neutral, spine stable. So try to avoid overarching that lower back. Just heard a crack in my shoulder. One more time and relax. Great work, everyone. All right, let's work into some rotational movements here. So we'll start off with a external rotation of our shoulder joint, and we'll go into a 90-degree position here. So how this one works is if my arms are to my side like this, I'm going to bend them 90 degrees right here, and shoulders are down and back. So my hands are facing up towards the sky, my thumbs are out to the side like this, and all I'm going to do is rotate out, bring it in from a side view, it goes out and in. Now, cues on this one here. I want these elbows really tucked to your sides here as much as you can. If you do this motion, you start noticing your arm go out like this. Do your best to keep it tucked. And if this is all the range of motion you have for right now, that's fine. We just don't want to have that elbow leave our body. So shoulders down and back and bring it out, bring it in. Take it nice and slow, everyone. This is a rotational drill for the shoulders, starting to target our rotator cuff muscles. Once again, elbows are tucked to your side. It's not a lot of range of motion for this exercise. And when you are bringing them out, use a thumb as a guide. You want to feel those deep shoulder muscles starting to engage. A couple more times. Elbows tucked to your side, shoulders are down and back, and relax. Great work, everyone. All right, let's go ahead and repeat that into our shoulder horn version. So this one right here, we're pretty much doing the exact same thing, whereas that was external rotation. We're going to be adding both internal and external. How this one works is I'm going to bend my arms 90 degrees, just like I had it. I'm going to raise them and elevate them to shoulder height now. So this is going to be my start position here. It looks like a W, right? So we kind of have a W motion, formation, I'm sorry. And what I'm going to do is keeping those elbows at shoulder height, I'm just going to drop those hands to about shoulder height, bring them back up, and repeat. Down and up. So my goal here is to try to keep those elbows at shoulder height. If you have a mirror, this is where it really comes in handy. If you have a wall, you can do this against your wall right now. But we're just doing this nice and slow, trying to keep those arms bent 90 degrees the entire time. And let's see how much range of motion we have. Sometimes we may start here, and then after we warm up, we start to get a little bit more range of motion. Take your time. One more time. And relax. Great work, everyone. Let's go ahead and move ourselves to the floor. We'll get in one more shoulder movement here, and then we'll be moving into our hip drills that we'll be doing right now. This one here, we're going to be working on our scapula. So we're going to go into our cat camel pose here. So we're going to be quadrupped onto the knees and onto the hands. So I like to keep them about shoulder width apart for this one here. And then from here, what I'm going to do is my spine is flat right now. Head is neutral. When we protract our shoulder blades, basically what it does is I'm pushing against the floor and rounding my spine here. So when you're ready, go ahead and try this position out. I'm just really trying to expand right where my scapula, the shoulder blades, I'm just trying to open those guys up and expand and hold. Now from here, keeping my arms straight, I'm just going to slowly retract those shoulder blades. Think about bringing the shoulders down and back. So when you're ready, we're not trying to flatten our spine. Now for my warm-ups, I really don't do too much with the lower back there. If anything, it's really just the mid upper spine that I like to focus on for this one here. So when we're about to protract, go ahead and do so. I'm gonna push and round my mid upper back. And then we'll go into extension. So shoulders down and back and flatten that mid upper back, flatten that mid upper back. One more time, let's protract. So we're now trying to open up and expand. And then we'll bring it back down and flatten our spine. So shoulders are down and back. And relax. Great work, everyone. All right, let's take out those shoulders. Let's go ahead and get into our half kneeling position here. So as I mentioned before, if you need a cushion or a pillow, you can grab it right now. We're going to be targeting the quad first, and then we'll move into our adductors after that. So how do they get into this one here? Once again, a half kneeling position looks like this. Try to keep the feet squared with your body, so about hip to shoulder width apart. Don't want to really tightrope ourselves onto this one here. All right, target area is going to be, if this leg is down, it's going to be targeting this quad right here. And all I'm going to do is keeping my body neutral. I'm just going to shift forward like this and back and repeat several times. Now I mentioned to keep the spine neutral because sometimes what happens is we think we're stretching, but all we're doing is just leaning back, and that's not doing much of anything. So we want to keep that spine neutral, not compress that low back, and then just shift forward and back. This is called the, I call it at least the half kneeling hip flexor stretch. It's just another variation to target your quads here. Especially if you have difficulty standing and trying to do that quad stretch. Let's just say it's kind of hard to grab that leg. This is a good alternative that you can do. So if you ever stretch with friends and family, try this one out. It's a good one. Sometimes the knee gets a little irritated on the floor. Let's bring it forward and hold here. What we're gonna do is with the side that's down here, this arm is gonna come up and then reach across. So go ahead and give that a shot. And we're just holding here, taking deep breaths in. Think about reaching for the corner ceiling, reaching for the sky, and relax. Great work, everyone. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So I will show you from a front view here. So once again, I'm just trying to establish my balance right now. And then once I'm here, I'm keeping that spine neutral, and I'm just going to shift forward and back. Nice work, everyone. So that front foot is flat. I'm just slowly shifting forward and back. If you have tight hips, you definitely will feel this one right away, as long as you're keeping your spine neutral. We're going to bring it forward and relax and hold, I'm sorry, right here. And then you now have a front view of what it looked like. So if this leg was the one that's down, this arm comes up, and then I do a lateral stretch. And we're just holding right here. It's a beautiful day today. I hear all the birds in the background. And we will relax. Great work, everyone. All right, coming up next, we have our last hip stretch we're going to do. It's going to be our half kneeling hip flexor stretch. For this one here, we're still going to be in this half kneeling position. Instead of having one foot behind us, it's going to be to the side. So it looks like this.
Hey, Nick, we have a question in the chat box. Can I use a pillow for my knee?
Yeah, pillow. If you have a yoga mat that you roll up, what's the other thing I'm thinking of? There's also like these other mats that you can use. But yeah, great question. As I mentioned before, you can use a pillow, really anything that you can do to roll up and put like a towel too. You can roll up and put it underneath your knee. Great question, everyone. So it looks like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my hip back, trying to keep this leg flat. This is going to target your adductors and your groin here. I'm just going to push back and then extend my body here. Push back and extend. Go ahead and give that a shot. So you'll notice that my foot stays for the most part flat, but there is going to be some movement if this is your first time doing it. So just kind of listen to your body for this one. When I'm here, I extend my hip and my glutes are contracted. When I go back, my hip bends here, feeling that inner thigh. You can use your hands here to kind of help guide your hip. So if it's a little hard for you to bend at the hip, you can kind of use these as a little pusher. Nice work. We'll do that one more time. We're going to hold this last one. So hip back, trying to keep this leg somewhat straight if I can. Taking a deep breath in. And relax. Great work, everyone. Let's go ahead and switch sides. From a side view, it looks like this. So if I'm in this half kneeling position right here, this leg is going to go out to the side like that. So when I'm here, my entire body is extended, right? So that means the glute is contracted, my core is engaged. And when I begin, I'm going to push my hip back like this, and then bring it forward. Nice work. So it's the hip joint here that pushes back, filling the inner thigh. Nice work, everyone. Let's do about 2 more of these. Hip goes back, hip goes forward. Let's do that one more time, and we're going to hold this position here. Once again, pushing that hip back, feeling this leg straight here. And relax. Whew. Great work, everyone. Let's finish off today with our usual sit to stand routine that we're going to do. So we in each class with just trying to improve our ability to use our hips, mobilize our body to just get into a standing position. So the goal here is, of course, is we're going to spend about 30 seconds just to stand up and then go back into the seated position, Indian style, but without the use of our hands. So if initially you need to kind of use your hands to help you out, use them. Little by little, we're trying to just do this while keeping our hands centered, just using our hips. So when you're ready, go ahead and take this seated position, and then let's go ahead and just try and get into a standing position any way you can. And then once I get into a standing position, I'm going to try and get back into a seated position. And then I'll just try that again, just trying to get comfortable, confident. Nice work. Let's try that one more time. And then once you take a seat, you can just hang out for a second. That was our mobility class for today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. As I mentioned before, we have our FitWays program that's starting up. So the links are in the chat. If you just want to copy and paste those real quick into your browser, feel free to do so. And then if you have any questions on anything that we did today, you can leave them in the chat. I'll be here for about another minute, or you can always email me or any of the program managers for any of the classes that we teach. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'll see you next time. Great job. All right. Yeah, great job, Orit. Yeah, let me go ahead and put those in the chat for you real quick. All right, so in the chat are the links for the FitWays program that's coming up. Go ahead and copy that into your browser, and then that'll set you up to register.